Now, one of the things I really like about comedy is that it can change things from a complaint into something to laugh about. And one of the things that I notice in our society, and I notice in my life, is that I can so easily be drawn to complaining. And complaining for me is just not just a waste of energy, because it's sort of fighting reality, usually without a possibility of doing anything about it, but it also just brings me into a negative space. So I'd like to share some couple of things with you just from recently in relation to the title of this little clip, which is sexual depravity, and to kind of see if I can together with you laugh at it, because if you don't laugh at this you'll end up crying. So I took my 2-year-old to his playgroup, and if you picture this, a playgroup, it's a beautiful little playgroup. There's about 25-30 kids between the ages of 2 and 4 in this playgroup, and that's a fantastic age. I don't know if anybody ever hangs around young kids, but this is just a fantastic age. They're so gorgeous and innocent and delightful. And one of the kids was feeling sad and crying, so I picked the kid up and immediately got told off by, in a very nice way, don't get me wrong, a very nice way, got told off by one of the employees there, who said, I must put the baby down, it's not okay for me to pick the baby up because I haven't had a police check. And it's just like, that is, in my understanding, I kind of, again, I don't know whether to laugh or cry about it. I don't want to complain about it, but I want to make an observation that is just unbelievable, and it's so sexually depraved. It's so part of this fear-based society in which we live in, which makes us so suspicious. I mean, 30 years ago there would be no problem, but now, because of the way the media depicts paedophiles as if every Tom, Dick and Harry is a paedophile, so we get to this situation where everyone's on their guard, and you have these laws, these crazy laws, and it's it's not really understood, I think, by many people how depraved these laws are. And they, it sounds like, oh great, just taking precautions, but actually taking precautions in extreme measures can lead to total insanity. And here's another example of it. So just a couple of days ago, I took my son round to my sister's place, who runs a group for little children aged, between age 1 and 3. It's a singing group, and this singing group is usually mothers and children who come and they sing songs like Old MacDonald had a farm, things like that. And I went in knowing that my sister runs this group for a group for women, and included in some of her clients are ultra-Orthodox women, ultra-Orthodox Jewish women, who conform to a law which is that a woman cannot be heard singing because it is sexually arousing for men to hear women singing. And so you see this law taken to an extreme, and if I would have been in the room listening to her singing Old MacDonald Had a Farm, she'd be concerned that she'd be transgressing this law. Must admit, I've of course had many sexual experiences hearing women singing Old MacDonald Has a Farm. Perhaps I could set up some sort of website for men who get turned on hearing women singing nursery rhymes. But this is what happens, and there is a very low level of awareness as to how that kind of thing creates so much discomfort, shame, embarrassment, dis-ease around sexuality, which is such an important area of our life because we are products of sexuality. And therefore, if a mother is already being so cautious, in inverted commas, or obsessed by this, then this message gets down to the children, and before you know it, you have kids that are imbalanced around the subject of sexuality. And I'm not complaining about this, because there's no point in doing that, and it's not going to change these people's behaviour. But if anybody watches this and is interested in finding out more, please contact me and we can talk about this type of thing. And maybe if anybody ends up watching this, maybe a parent of young children, maybe it's worth the time, taking the time to examine, how am I around sexuality? How am I around my own sexuality? What sort of messages am I giving my children around sexuality? And have a great day.